So, you are going to always see equations. Like, we're not going to be done with equations. This will be part of the spiral review. Over and over and over and over, you need to know how to solve equations. So, find the balance point. Step 1. Step 2, choose a side, Violet, left or right, your choice.
Left.
Okay, so you should have no cards, cover up one side, only focus on the left side. Step 2 is distribute if needed. We need to distribute when there are parentheses. 2 times x is 2x, 2 times negative 6 is negative 12. Bring down the negative 8. Everybody still with me? From there, step 3 is combine like terms on the same side. When it's on the same side, we are not using the inverse operations. When it's on the same side, we do not use inverse operations. We only do the opposite operation when it's on the opposite side. Same side, do what it says. So 2x drops down. Negative 12 minus 8 goes straight into the calculator, gives me negative 20. We're now done with that left side. So now we're back to the right. Step 2, distribute if needed. Well, we need to. That gives me 4x plus 20. Have I lost anybody there?
Yeah.
I have? Where did I lose you?
Everything.
Okay, would you like me to start over and try to teach it a different way? And I'm being serious.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
that's right. Okay, so let's try again. I'm going to erase this for right now. This is all you see. If there was no equal sign, would you do any inverse operations? Did you know any of inverse operations before we did equations? No, right? We didn't do anything. Do you understand what distributing is?
yeah.
Okay, you know that means what? What mathematical operation?
Multiplication.
Multiplication. So I do 2 times, this is a 1x. 2 times 1 is 2x. Good there?
Yeah.
Then we're taking the 2, multiplying it to the negative 6. Positive times the negative is negative 12. Do you understand that part? Negative 8 comes down. Now, this is combining like terms. What are my like terms?
12, negative 12, negative 8.
Okay, if you just saw, forget about 2x. If I just gave you negative 12 minus 8, could you do that? You couldn't do negative 12 minus 8 in your calculator? You owe me $12 and now you owe me 8 more. How much money do you owe me? So get your calculator. Do that. Negative 12 minus 8. Negative 20, right? But there was a 2x there. We didn't touch it, so it just comes down. Do you understand that part?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, I'm covering this part up. Still with me? So we're going to do the same thing. This is another just expression over here. We have to distribute. 2 times 2x is 4x. Good there? 2 multiplied by a positive 10 is?
20.
Yeah, positive 20. That's how I got to that step. Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Y'all, don't be afraid to ask. If you don't understand something, because today's going to be one of those days. So we are solving inequalities next. Where does the variable have to be on an inequality? Which side? The left side. So we're going to move things this way. I'm going to start on this one to help prep. So I need to move, step 4 is move the variables, or combine variables on opposite sides. Opposite sides use opposite operations, which are also called, what kind of operations? Starts with an I. Inverse operations. The opposite of positive 4x is negative 4x. We subtract 4x from both sides. That gives me 20 equals 2 minus 4 is negative 2x minus 20. Okay, still with me? Now we're going to combine constants. That's step 5 according to that sheet. So the constants are the things without variables. I add 20 to both sides. I add 20 to both sides. That gives me negative 2x equals 40. Divide by negative 2. X equals negative 20. Violet, you good?
Mm-hmm.
I like your necklace.
Thanks.
Is that your birthstone?
No, it's just a B.
Oh, I thought the other side was blue.
No.
And something looked blue. I don't know. Okay.
Wait,
Weird.
are you colorblind?
I,
Oh, we've been over this.
yes.
Oh.
Okay. Balance point.
Wait,
Here-
that sounded so mean.
What?
You said I thought that was your birthstone. I said, are you colorblind?
Well, I am. It's fine. Listen, you're allowed to be mean. It's fine.
No.
Listen, what's happening is Harlow's just imparting saying, you should be mean to Mr. H. Like, she's not saying it, but she wants you to be mean to me. That's what's happening.
Oh. Oh no. Next is the globe.
Okay, so balance point. In inequalities, we are moving them from the right to the left. We want the variables on the left-hand side. I subtract 4x from both sides. Let's see, now she's probably going to get things to throw it. Next thing I'm going to see. Oh, yeah. Okay. So 3x minus 4x is negative 1x minus 8 is less than or equal to 13. Everybody still with me? Combine constants. Add 8 on both sides. That gives me negative 1x is less than or equal to 21. What do I do as my last step? And this is important. I need everybody to be able to say this. What's my last step?
You divide.
Divide what?
-1 by
Where? On
the other side.
on both sides, right?
Yeah.
So I'm dividing by a -1 on both sides. In inequalities, when I divide by a negative, go ahead, Christian.
The sign switches.
The
right?
inequality sign has to flip. That leaves me with x is greater than or equal to negative 21. Questions? Okay, copy that down, make sure you have it. What are you working on?
You're good.
Go ahead, get your homework out. Your homework, you guys all finished yesterday in class. It was the is this a function vertical line test. Here we go, taking a look. Number 1, yes, it's a function. Number 2, yes, it's a function. Number 3, yes, it's a function. Number 4, no, because as soon as it intersects more than once, it is not a function. Number 5 is no, not a function. Number 6 is yes. Number 7 is yes. Number 8 is yes.
Question.
I have an answer.
What is a 3?
How is 3 a function?
Yeah.
So when you draw that line next to your pen, so when I'm here, notice how it only intersects there. Only intersects there. Only intersects. Only intersects. Only intersects. Only intersects. Only intersects. Only intersects. It will never hit twice. Even right here, it's not hitting twice. It's just hitting right there. Does that make sense? Okay. You may not believe this, but I have a little bit of an ego. It's one of my sins. I think that I am a fantastic math teacher, but I want to be the best math teacher. I really do. And I like feedback. That's why I like parent-teacher conferences. I like hearing, hey, this is not working for me, my student, for me, whatever. I like to hear that. Because, like Judah said, hey, I didn't get it all. I can try to show you it a different way. Did it make more sense the second time? Yeah. So I like to be a better teacher. But I think I'm pretty fantastic. Again, that's my ego. I went into one of my classes today going, okay, I'm going to teach this. Rocked out the lesson. I was like, cool. Okay, go ahead and do these problems. And then I saw them look, and then they went like this. Like the puppy dog look, like they hear a weird sound, and they're like, what's happening? So I realized that even though I thought I taught it well, it did not go well. Then I taught it again. I was like, okay, I'm going to completely change how I taught it. Let's teach it a different way. 28 minutes of teaching later, okay, guys, try this.
Yeah, if you want to be the best.
So, with that being said, you don't have a quiz on Monday. You're going to have a quiz on Tuesday, maybe on Wednesday. Like, I'm bumping it back. We're going to spend 2 days on today's work. Okay? So, Ask questions if you don't understand. There is, no, there's definitely stupid questions in the world. There is no wrong question if you're asking it about the math. Okay? So, today what we're working on are function rules and tables. This is a repeat of how I've started the last 3 lessons, or the last 2 lessons. To be a function. What has to happen to be a function?
Domains do not repeat.
The domains x values, inputs do not repeat. All x values must be different. All x values must be different. Everybody with me so far? Okay? So if you weren't here on Monday, hopefully you watched the video.
You should just quit your job just for the shit and watch me.
And I should just quit?
Yeah.
I love you guys though. I actually enjoy my job. Why would I quit? So to be a function, the x values
easier.
probably. X values do not repeat. Okay? So we are talking about function rules. A function rule is an equation that gives a domain a specific range. So for every x value, there is a very specific range. X is domain, y is range. Okay, so now I'm trying to teach this differently for a 3rd time. Because the first 2 have been unmitigated disasters, it has not worked well, I'm going to try it different. Fair enough? This is the first time that I've ever taught it like this. Yay. Let's hope that it goes well. Okay.
So
We know it is a function rule when we see this. And this is saying f of x, the function of x. Now, this is where it's going to get a little confusing. We see f of x, but this isn't the only way that we're going to see it. And if you pay attention to anything, now would be a great time. F of x could also be seen as, and you don't have to write this down, h of x, you don't have to write this down, v of x, g of x. It doesn't matter what the thing is in front of that x. These are all showing that it is a function. Most commonly, you will see it as f of x. Okay? I'm going to erase these h of x, v of x, but just know that these examples are all the same as f of x. You don't need to know what f of x is yet. Everybody with me? Have I lost anybody yet? So we know it's a function equation, a function rule, when we see f of x. F of x takes the place of y. What do I mean by that? Somebody open your notes to yesterday, please. To the very last thing we did a table. And that table, what was the example? What was the equation in that table? Y equals what? What was the equation? Say it again.
2x.
Just 2x?
3.
2x plus 3. Y equals 2x plus 3. That was the equation. A function rule will say f of x equals 2x plus 3. The only difference is y isn't there anymore. It's replaced with a f of x. Have I lost anybody yet? It doesn't have to make sense. You don't need to know, Mr. H, why do we use f of x? Because that's just to show that it's a function. Okay? But does it have to be f of x? No, it could be g of x, v of x, h of x. Does this letter matter? Not at all. The only thing that matters is this x. X matters because when we graph something, we need an x and we need a y. Have I lost anybody? Okay. Trying to think of how I want to attack this next. So, what is a function? A function is a machine. So you have your inputs, which are our x values. Then you have an equation. Some type of equation is what's going into. So our inputs go into that equation. Something happens to them. They get worked on. It's like building a car. And then you have all of these different parts. You have your mirrors, you have the engine, you have the tires, you have the car doors, you have the glass, you have the hood, and it all works out here. And then what happens? It spits something out called the output, which is our Y's, is our car. We have individual pieces, and then it gives us our result. A function is a machine. We have inputs, it goes in, it gets worked on, it spits something even better out. Harlow's like, I don't get it.
No, I get it.
You're just giving me dirty looks?
No, it's just my face. Sorry.
Is it? No.
She's got a rare condition called sarcasm.
Yeah.
No.
Wait, what?
It's not that rare. Here we go. Okay. So, what are we going to see? We're going to see something like this. So here's our example. F of x equals 3x. And I'm going to say f of 2, f of negative 3, f of 0. This is allowed to be confusing. Okay, it's allowed to. Y equals 3x. That's really how, in my head, I immediately changed my f of x to a y. Y equals 3x. F of what?
3x.
F of x. This says f of 2. Well, what did 2 replace?
3x.
The x. So this is my x value. So I can say f of 2 equals 3 times 2. What's 3 times 2?
6.
So the answer to this problem, f of 2 equals 6. Now, here's my question. What's the ordered pair? Think about it. What would be the ordered pair? What was my x?
2.
What's my y?
6.
6. Okay, so f of negative 3 is really 3 times what? Negative 3, because I'm using this same equation. 3 times negative 3 gives me f of negative 3 equals -9. Okay. What's the ordered pair?
-3, -9.
-3, -9. How about f of 0? Well, that's 3 times 0, which gives me f of 0. Why am I going downhill like this? Equals 0. What's the ordered pair?
0, 0.
So remember how we were evaluating yesterday and we were substituting in? That's the same thing that we're doing. Is this the only way you're going to see these? No. I see looks of confusion. Now would be a great time to say, hey, Mr. H, I don't understand A, B, C. Where are we lost?
Do you have to do like that exact same steps every time? Like to find all, is it like?
You're going to find each individual number.
Okay.
Okay, because each domain has its own range. It can't repeat. So 2 has its own specific range for this equation. -3 has its own range. You have to find out what that y value is, that f of x, by plugging it in. I'm going to show you another one. Okay.
I mean, will our questions look like that?
Some of them. Some of them are going to look like this. Some are going to look more like this. F of x equals 2x minus 4 Okay, so this is definitely a little bit confusing. F of x equals 2x minus 4. D, this is the set of something, is 3, -8, and -4. What do you think D stands for?
Domain.
The domains, which is which values?
The x.
The x values. How many different numbers are we going to have to solve this equation for? How many x values are there?
2. Wait.
3.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say the first one is 3. So I write f of 3 equals 2 times 3 minus 4. I substituted in for x. Can you put this into your calculator? 2 times 3 minus 4? Probably, right? So f of 3 equals 6 minus 4 is 2. There's an answer. So I've now done this one. What's the next one I have to do?
You have to split -8.
So I say the function when x is -8 is equal to 2 times -8 minus 4. The function when x is at -8 is equal to -16 minus 4 is -20. Where are we getting lost at? Because again, I'm seeing these looks, not the pure puppy dog looks, but what questions do you have? I need you guys, listen, I can't read minds. I think I'm doing a great job. I have no idea. Tell me. Are we understanding this? A little bit? F of x is just an unknown. I'm giving you now the knowns. So the last one would be f of -4 equals 2 times -4 minus 4. So again, you can plug this into your calculator. 2 times -4 is -8, minus 4 is -12. What questions do we have? Anybody? Okay. Hopefully you brought your algebra books. I'd like you to work together if you don't have one. Can you scoot up? Okay.
Yeah.
Brandon, did you bring one? Oh, nice. Judah, did you bring yours?
Yeah.
Nice. Slackers.
Look at those slackers in there.
So, go to page 181. Right now we're going to focus on numbers 1 and 2, but I'd like to see if you can get through 1 through 5. This is not homework. We're doing this right now. You're not going to, hey, it's a Wednesday, and you don't have homework. I did good. I did good. So, I want you to do right now page 181, numbers 1 and 2. Questions? Love y'all, whether you believe that or not.